Men of the Prize podcast. It is it's Harvey, it's your host. How you doing? I hope you had a great week. I hope everything you wanted to get done this week, it happened. I hope it happened the way you wanted to happen. But maybe it didn't happen the way you wanted to happen. Maybe it didn't happen at all. How'd you deal with it? Were you okay this week? Did the struggle, was it a little too hard? Was the weight too much to carry? I know you were able to handle it. You're a man and you are right. It was a struggle, but you still good. Don't let anything break you. You don't do that here. Welcome to the episode. As usual, I am blessed to have another great guest. I will introduce him in a minute, but you know how I start this. I am an expert. One thing, I have two hands up, but it's really one. One thing, I'm an expert at being myself, at being the man that I am right now. But I can't diagnose. I can't help you with the ill things. All I can do is have a forum for men to speak. And you know that's what this is. This is a space for you to hear other men talk about what's going on in their lives and normalize it. It's not strange. It doesn't make you less of a man. It should make you comfortable. It should be something you expect from yourself. Because when these emotions sit, you know what happens. You know that word they use when they talk about us who don't talk. You know that word, toxic. We don't like that word. You know what that means. And we don't want to be that man. So you have a problem, you say it. You have an issue, you express it. And the most important thing is have somebody to hear you. So if you've got a friend, a mentor, somebody, a licensed professional, somebody trained, find somebody to talk to so that you get it out in a healthy manner. And with that said, my guest this week, Dr. Andre J McDonald. I like that name, Andre J. It sounds important, like you about to do work. Let me give the quick bio. He is a doctor of holistic science and founder of Annex Hypnosis Wellness Center. He specializes in subconscious behavior and hypnosis therapy for wellness. Welcome to the podcast. How are you today, sir?
Doing fantastic, wonderful, never better. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, and thanks for accepting the invitation. I appreciate it.
It's an honor.
Obviously, you just heard me rant about it. You know, we're talking about wellness for men. I'm wearing a shirt, and if you listen to podcasts, you can't see it, but I'm gonna read it off. I think I can. Wellness. What does that say? What does that say?
Definition there.
Hold on. I might have to stand up for this. Hold on. The quality or state of being healthy in body and mind, especially as a result of deliberate effort. That's what we're talking about. Deliberate effort. To be well, you have to try. You have to do well to be well. And I hope that's something we can talk about. So
definitely,
the way I do this is I just read your bio, and obviously it's exceptional. It's clearly you're a man of vision, an educated man. Let's say I pulled up on the street and I didn't get a chance to read this bio. Let's say I'm like, I got like 10 seconds. Andre, yo, my man told me about you or whatever. I think I might want to talk to you. Tell me about yourself. You got 10 seconds. Tell me something right now. What'd you say?
I'd say my name is Andre. I help people with getting rid of their bad addictions, their bad habits, fears, phobias, live a better life. So a lot of stuff is on a deeper level. I help with that.
That's perfect. That's good. Okay. I like to hear that. All right. So here's what I do. You've listened to the pod, or maybe you haven't, maybe the first time. The title of this podcast is Men Are the Prize, but prize is the word. P.R.I.Z.E. P is the first word in the word prize, and the first letter represents purpose. Purpose is defined as reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So, Dr. Andre, what is your purpose?
Oh, you got some deep, good questions.
No games, baby. We go right to the heart of it. Let's go.
My purpose is to share my joy, my passion, my skills with everybody for better wellness, better days. I've seen people come from pit holes to living their life off of drugs, off of, all kinds of stuff. My purpose is to go ahead and get out there, do that. I'm not going to go to my grave with this. So that's my purpose.
Cool. When did you find out this was your purpose? How long have you known this was it?
I say 2013, 2014. Talked my baby mama out of a seizure pretty much, or we were going to crash. So that's, kind of one point there. But really, ultimately, when my baby girl was born, it's just like my heart opened up. It's like, this is what life's about, you know.
Okay.
I
I hear
love.
you.
Mhm.
See, that's something that resonates with us men. We grow up and we're kind of selfish because we're just dealing with ourselves or maybe part of a family and such. But
I was
there's
bling
nothing,
blinging. I was bling
see,
bling.
but there's nothing like seeing your child come into this world to really change your perspective.
Amen.
Did you feel like, I've always wondered, this is kind of cliche or stuff. Did you feel like you grew up when you saw that baby come into the world? Was there like a legitimate shift in your mind? Like, oh, okay, I'm not child anymore. Like this is legit. I got somebody to take care of. Did that hit you?
I mean, I was already kind of there, but yeah, once she was there, I was like, yeah, okay, this is the time. Okay, let's put some groundwork in. Actually, I already had the groundwork, but it's like now it's time to really put the groundwork in. At that moment, I was like, oh, all that I did, I'm not prepared for it. There's more for everything what I need to do. So
Okay,
it just pushed me more. Yes, there was that feeling. Long story short.
excellent. So we were just talking about you and your purpose. I think an issue that a lot of men have is that we're kind of just living in this world. We just kind of floating around and we don't really know what we're supposed to be doing. We don't really know our purpose. Am I a father, husband, employee, best friend? What am I supposed to do? And I feel like that may have a small part, or maybe a big part, of why we don't succeed in life because we're confused, we're stuck, we're lost.
Mm.
Is that something you deal with when you have patients, when you have customers, whomever, when you're talking to people about life? Is purpose an important part of that discussion?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I never really really thought about it, put it in perspective. But yes, before I start my sessions, once we go through the steps, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do this? Okay, come in. And then we talk about, we do 30 minutes of assessment. What do you really want? We actually write it all out, get it all out there. And last 30 minutes we do a therapy, and we come back again for a whole hour of therapy. But anyway, so yeah, it's pretty much getting the purpose down. That's huge. That's a huge part of it. Purpose and the why you want to do this. So you got to make it important in your brain. Why is this important? Otherwise, it's just, oh, it's important. Okay. But no, you got to really tell yourself it's important.
Got you. Okay. I imagine you don't just see men, you see men and women as patients, right?
Yes, sir.
Is there a difference, I mean, in general, between dealing with men and their psyche, women and theirs? Do you handle them a different way? Is there a different way to come at a man?
I kind of feel the waters out,
Mhm.
but yeah, generally I see a difference. Men seem to be we're a little more skeptical. I don't know. I don't believe in this
Right,
necessarily.
right.
What? And then they realize, oh, my hand's stuck on my face. How? I don't do that one too often, but just enough to just for a convincer. So because it's like that brick wall. You can get past that brick wall, then you can help people believe that they can actually help themselves. So women seem to, not all women. There's some that are like hugely, skeptical.
Right.
But a lot of them are able to use that creativity. They have a lot more creativity juices, or more open to it. Not to say creativity, because there's a lot of men that are creative artists and all this.
Right.
So I think it's more of the skepticism level of things. But really, it all comes down to how much somebody wants to do something. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
that's any gender.
No. Okay. That's good to hear. That's good to know. Okay. So we kind of covered purpose. The next letter in the word prize, and this is usually where we kind of get into stuff. The next letter is R, and the word is resilience. Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, toughness. So we didn't really get too much into your life, but you certainly don't have to do that. But for
There you
you,
go. Huh?
what situation, what happened in life? What moment did you have to go through some ish and then you realize, you know what? I can handle it. I have the strength to deal with the situation. Tell us a situation that happened for you.
Oh, so much, so many things. I mean, I've lived from West Coast to East Coast. I lived down South for a little while, so I met a bunch of different cultures of people.
Mhm.
And you got people that are there to help you, people that are neutral. You got people that are going to try to hinder you and, just hate you for no reason. One of those cases, Milwaukee for a while, many years, a lot of fights, a lot of nothing I started myself, but it's just like, if you sometimes us guys, when you see someone else on their purpose or doing something, create focus. Some of us guys, I think what it is, it's like a psychological pain for some people, not just guys, but some people. It's like, oh, look at this person choosing their destiny. If you can't, it's that crab mentality. If I can't, you can't. So I ended up in a lot of fights, like on buses and stuff like that. We're talking about resilience, right? So,
right.
But they didn't know that I was in martial arts and boxing for a bunch of years. So, so a little skinny twig guy in the bus, sitting there. I handle my own. I'm not saying that fighting is necessarily the way to go, but if you got to protect your being, your avatar, then do what you must, by all righteous means. I don't know where we're going. Resilience. There's been so many times, family death, rest in peace. It's mental, it's physical. Take care of your body, take care of your mind. That's what we got. This is what we got. Do the best with what you got.
Okay. So growing up, let's see. So how were you? I mean, think about yourself as a teen boy, a kid growing up. How were you? Self-esteem good? Did you have anxiety? What were you like as you growing up? Now, as you can look back as an adult.
That's a good question. Yeah. So looking back, I was kind of a lone wolf. I had moved around a lot. I used to, make really strong pacts with, friends and all that. But then my parents would be like, all right, we're shipping up, we're moving. It's like, oh, dang. So, I started a sport, had to leave it, go over here. So, I just I made friends, and I still talk to a lot of them too on Facebook and all that. But until I can get things up in my business, I'm not traveling as much as I'd like to. Growing up as a teen, I was a lone wolf, but I love hanging out with people, I love talking with people. I still do. Like I said, though, some of the places I live, though, people will look at me like, oh, who does he think he is? Stuff like that. So,
okay.
So it's nice now talking to people.
Okay. Do you think growing up, I mean, lone wolf, but do you think it would have benefited you growing up to be in therapy?
Yeah, I think so. As long as it was someone that, could understand the situation, somebody that was open to listen, to understand, to reciprocate what they heard, what they understand. I guess just getting it off my chest would have been the best. Actually, honestly, I haven't really told anybody about my high school, teenage years and all that stuff. I was just like,
Okay.
Talk about college, come on.
Yeah. I know that high school, that's not always the best memories for a lot of us. So it's kind of, we just made it through. It is what it is. Nothing remarkable.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like building robots and stuff. So.
Okay. So here's a question I have. So through talking to men with this podcast, again, not trained, these are just all opinions of mine, but we men have been pretty much groomed to really insulate with our feelings. We keep them here. We don't put them out. And I've really come to the kind of conclusion that we wanted to, we didn't know how. But not only did we not know how, we didn't really have access to that. And what I mean is this: I can know how to express my feelings, but I don't know who to express my feelings to. So for me, I think a lot of men, we don't have that person. So access to release our feelings, to yell and do whatever because we had a bad day, because that girl wasn't feeling us in high school, because I didn't make the football team, whatever, all this stuff. So my question for you is this: do you right now, and I want you, and just to make it easier, you can't, no partner, no parents, stuff like that. Do you have a person right now who, if you did some dumb stuff right now, some foolishness, that you could pick up the phone and say, yo, I just did this and I don't know why I did it. And you could talk to that person, say it, and no ridiculous judgment or anything, but you could say it to that person and you know that it wouldn't go anywhere. They would give you constructive friend criticism, but you could let it out without any reprisals. Do you have that person in your life?
I was gonna say a resounding yes, but now I'm thinking like, I love my family. It's family. It's different. You know, it's like
Right.
it's different. You know, it's
Right.
gonna stay there with that person.
Right.
But what you get back in response, you know, I know it's out of love, but is it, you know, right for me? And a lot of us have bias too. So it's nice to have that non-bias look at something. Yeah, a lot of us just need to be able to get it out. So that's like why I do the assessment in the beginning. People just need some time to talk and be heard. So that's a really good question. Thanks for asking that, Harvey.
Oh.
Hopefully I answered the question right.
Well, the question, so do you have that? Do you have a friend like you definitely do?
Yes.
You're like, I think it's important because it, to me, it kind of correlates with a person like you. Well, like I have a friend, somebody who I feel like I could talk to about things, but I feel like I should have that kind of trust in my therapist, my psychiatrist, my psychologist, who's ever professionally helping me with my mental health.
Yes.
So, and I can imagine that's why it's difficult for a men to sit down on the, the couch and release, because we don't really have that person, right? You don't have that person. So possibly the therapist we talk to is that first person. So we're walking into, uncharted territory. I'm supposed to tell this person everything, and what they're going to say to me, are they going to judge me, whatever, make me feel worse about the situation? So I feel like
there's so many cliches.
Yeah, I know, so many cliches, but because we don't know any better. I don't have that dude. I don't have, like, I could call my brother like, yo, I broke this girl's heart, not even know why I did it. And he'd be like, you stupid as hell. That girl loved you. What'd you do that for? And he could tell me that, and I could listen and be like, you know what? You right. But then end of the conversation, like, listen, you're gonna be all right, man. Just don't do that stuff. You know better than that. And we don't get that very much.
Right.
And so I feel like a therapist would be the same thing, but in a professional manner. So like, why'd you do that? You know better than that. What were you thinking when you? I feel like it requires. I feel like a good trained person like yourself. Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do this too. You're a wellness coach.
Maybe. I'm just Harvey right now. I'm just a talker. Like I said, that might be something I do in the future. But right now I'm learning from people like you. So that maybe, I might do it. Yeah, so you're kind of that friend that many of us don't have to start with. So, happy to be. Yeah, and I think that's the way to go. So you definitely have covered resilience. We're going to keep it moving. Next letter is I, but I save for the end. Z is the next letter. The word is zeal. I love this word because it feels important. And the word is defined as enthusiastic devotion. What are you enthusiastically devoted to, doctor?
Well, my hypnosis, my subconscious development is huge. I love it. It's just seeing that person transition. They come in distraught. I'm a complete stranger. I get that. I understand. And but by the end of that first session, and they leave out big smiles. There's a guy. I don't know. He might have been racist. I'm not sure, or some kind of
it's possible
amount. But I don't think he knew I was going to be a brother when he came into my office. So he was coming in and his like face frowned up or whatever. And like, come on in. We talked, we did all that, did the different hypnosis tests or whatnot. Anyway, by the end of that, he was done being a smoker. And we were talking about, what's it called? The Sour Patch Kids or whatnot.
Okay.
I love Sour Patch Kids. They're so good. And, so, it's just nice being able to connect on that human level. Get rid of all that other stuff. Get rid of thinking someone's going to judge you or anything like that. Just come in and, just be a human for a little while, and then be a better human by the end of that, by your own definition.
So you mentioned hypnosis. Can you give us like a clinical definition of that? What is hypnosis?
There's so many different, if someone says, I'm an expert, I'm going to tell you what hypnosis absolutely is. No, they're BS because it's a huge field, and it's just like if someone were to explain how the brain exactly works, they can't. There's always new knowledge, new things. We're billions of years of human development, strategic design, and architecture. So anyway, the subconscious mind, let's just break it down this way. 10 to 12% is us thinking, talking, communicating on a conscious level.
Right.
Then there's the whole 88 to 90% that's subconscious, that just automatically does what's in our programming. So I work with that 88 to 90% subconscious. So hypnosis is pretty much a relaxed, focused state of mind where you can have a whole lot more control of how you're going to react, how your behaviors are going to be. You're just fixing your own coding, your own programming in a relaxed way. So
okay,
there's a bunch of different schools of thought. We can go into it if you want. I could do a diagram. We could do all
I know, we good. I just wanted to hear it because I feel like most of us don't have a real understanding of it, and any understanding we do is just the stuff we see. Yeah, exactly.
Movie.
Exactly. Oh, you're hypnotized, whatever. And it's for entertainment, but there's a real science to it. And I think that's important for some people to recognize. What I will ask you, no problem. What I will ask is, while we don't have to get too in depth of the definition, what is the benefit of it when you're helping somebody?
Oh, okay. So the benefit, first off, right off the bat, I think it's the relaxation. What I do, I start with just breathing. A lot of times we don't just take some time to breathe. We got all these things going on, this chitter chatter. Do this, do that, got to do that. What's for dinner? And it's just nice to calm that I don't know, little squirrel in the cage mind, just calm it down for a minute.
Right.
And actually look at your situation, move it around where you need to move it. So I guess the benefits, the main benefit starting out is just the relaxation, and then also regaining your control. So.
Okay. All right. So we covered zeal. The last letter in the word prize is E. The word is expectation. Expectation is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. So I come and I see you. I talk, we do the assessment, we do everything. Let's say during or maybe towards the end, when we're done with whatever we do, how long it's going to take for us to work out. What are you expecting from me when I leave? What should I have gained from my time with you?
All right. Clarity. I would say some clarity. You would get, I do 2 sessions starting out. So get your first session, that's us getting to know each other and also trying out. Then the next one is, the full session of whatever you originally came in for. But I'm just going to describe to you all as one thing. You're going to get definitely that clarity. You're going to get your results. Otherwise, I got a 21-day come back, we'll work on a guarantee, which I think I had 1, but that's because they didn't follow through. So I give you audio to listen to 30 minutes when you wake up, 30 minutes before going to bed, bare minimum. It's just really relaxing music. It's my voice underneath. It's called sublime tracks. So it's got my voice underneath. I am now a non-smoker. I crave fresh air, things like that underneath. And so I give you all that, and I also give you a recording. If we did it online, I record the session for you and I send you that so you can listen to that later. So you're getting that too. So you get the whole package deal, so you don't have to keep coming back to me all the time. What you pay for, you get it all as a package. So yeah, you get your results, you get clarity, you get relaxation, you get goodies.
Okay, that's good. So when you decided this is what you were going to do, is this, I don't know, you start a job and I'm going to make money, meet girls, whatever, big house, all this stuff, whatever we come up with. Is this what you expected, this job or this career that you chose? Is this what you expected to do? Or did you have a different journey in mind or a different part of psychiatry or anything in mind? Are you where you thought you were going to be, or did you have some twists and turns and end up somewhere else?
Yeah, twists and turns is beyond the man, roller coasters, man. I started out like as soon as I got out of high school, I started a job as what I plan on doing is going into college for automation and robotics and electromechanics. So I did go to college for that for a while, a few years. I had a job as a robot operator in Milwaukee, Maynard Steel Foundry. Um, but like I said, I think that's when my daughter was born. That was my turning point right there. I always liked learning how things work, the mechanics of things. But then when she was born, it was just like, I don't know, my heart just opened up. And also I learned meditation, and I didn't know it was meditation at the time. I learned there's this game, you play it, it's just relaxing because I was stressed the hell out at a certain point of time. When I learned this meditation, it's just like my heart opened up. It's like, I like learning how things work, but I want to learn how people work so I can help them, because I see so many different things going on around me. But I know that it starts here. It starts here, and then there's a lot of things that can be prevented. So,
Okay.
Yeah, that's the gist of it right there. It's like right
Well,
there.
I think what's interesting is that you said you like finding out how things work. You're in the line of work where you're seeing how we work. So you want to see how robots and how you work too. So you took what you like seeing something else, and now you took it and like, I want to figure out how I work. And by extension, how that man works or how that woman works. And then there's just a whole lot of people to deal with because we are all different in some little way. Yes. So that's got to be it. Robots are, it's kind of, binary or static. This is what they do. Exactly. But there's billions of programs of emotions, all kinds of stuff. It's got to be mind blowing. It's got to be so much more. That's got to be interesting.
Very fulfilling.
But from talking to you beforehand, I got the impression that, how we see or how we perceive psychiatry and the mind, how we deal with things, you're not very much about the way that the world sees it, that you kind of have some questions and some such about it. So elaborate, what do you think about, I don't know if psychiatry is the right term, but how we deal with people and our psyches and our struggles? What's your thoughts about it? What's maybe off and how we deal with it in the world now?
I'd say, what's off in the world or what's off in psychology?
In psychology, yes. Well, okay. That all the one's a whole different episode. No, we just talking about psychology.
I'd be glad to come back for that other episode.
Oh, we may have to.
All right, good. Right. All right, so I'd say anybody that's thinking out of the box or in the box, it ain't gonna work for you, okay? Speak therapy or talk therapy isn't gonna work for this person necessarily. That's why I have a lot of different tools in the box. Our brains are, like, you probably heard this before too, that neuroplasticity. Right. We're able to mold our brains. At one point in time, there was like, whenever I had a negative thought or even a positive thought, I could feel like some kind of my I don't know what the synapses move like that. There's really things going on in our brain, and you can change that over. Like, our brains are literally plastic, like molding, like you can mold it. What's the question again? I can go on.
No, it's fine. What the kind of the current view of psychiatry and psychology? What's kind of wrong with it? What could we do to fix it? Where do you stand with it now?
Yeah, okay, right. Definitely, it's not in a box. You can't just give this to someone. Definitely, you got to meet where someone is and ask them what's going on. People are going to know themselves more than you'll ever know them, or they're going to know their situation more than you could ever tell them what's right and what's wrong. So I think mainly just that compassion and just meeting people where they are, just listening.
Okay. All right. The last letter in the word prize, at least for this, it's the I, and I don't give it a designation. It's just the I, because to me, purpose, resilience, zeal, and expectation represent 4 good parts of a man. And when you take advantage of the 4, when you use them, you get to I. And to me, I represents the person. So let's use you as the example. You're not a father. You're not a specialist. You're not an employer. You're a father. You take all that stuff off. When it's just you,
Oh, you're saying, oh, yeah. Yeah.
all by when it's just you
Mm,
and none of these titles that are thrust upon us.
okay.
Who are you?
Mm. I'm just a guy on the stage right now, you know, just a guy on the stage. Who am I? Someone who just loves and wants to see the potential in myself fully blossom. And in that process, hopefully other people will like to join in and blossom as well. I don't know if blossom is the word I want to use, but you know, expand, you know.
Okay.
And I think
Okay.
every man wants that. You know,
Yeah.
who doesn't want to see how much you can push something to the limit for yourself without hurting yourself, you know?
Agreed. Agreed. I like that. So what I do is I have a few questions I throw out at the end, and they're specific to you.
Uh-oh.
So we'll start with this.
Okay.
What are you personally afraid of that you cannot control?
Mm. Well, it's a deep one. There's so many things I can't control. There's so many things that, you know, are at disarray or something specifically. Now I mentioned I have a daughter, uh, Zandra, but I can see the state of the world right now. I don't know if it's, I can see the programming, you know. I deal with the subconscious. I deal with subliminal messages. I deal with a lot of these things that are under the wire to most people. And my child is identifying as he right now. So I never go with he. I always say Zandra or my child, because kids, we change over time. We all change. And to me personally, I don't know who's going to be watching. I don't know how people are going to take it or whatnot, but I can see that it's kind of touted, you know, like it's um, I don't know if it's kind of put out there like all the gender wars and all this stuff. It's glorified. People get more attention this kind of way. I'm not saying that's what my child's what's going on there, but a lot of people just want to belong to some kind of something.
Mhm.
And so if you see somebody getting some kind of attention or something like that, you want to, you know, identify with that group sometimes. I was never that way. I didn't care about, because I moved around a lot too. So, you know, if you're cool, let's just be cool. All right. But so that's something out of my control. If that's what's really going on inside of Zandra, okay. All right. I mean, I know my journey as a boy meant going through a journey as a boy, not just, oh hey, I'm a boy now, or I'm a girl now, or something. So that's something that's out of my control. Let's stay on your time here. Thank you. But yeah, it's that's what it is.
Okay. What are you afraid of that you can control?
What am I afraid of that I can control? Hmm. Uh, I mean, partially I could say that I'm afraid of, you know, I put a lot of eggs in this basket, not all my eggs in the basket. What I'm doing right now for hypnosis and hypnotherapy, it works phenomenally. It's just I don't have many people coming in steadily, consistently to, you know, keep everything up per se. It doesn't take much. I have a camera. This is a green screen. I can change it to some really cool stuff in the background. Just keeping the internet, the electric, the heat, and all that up. It's, you know, just being honest with you. Hypnosis therapy, it's works. It's amazing. A lot of these marketers are telling me, "Oh, get your high ticket marketing. You should be charging 150 grand or 150, you know,
A lot of money.
100." And it's like, you know, I'm trying to make it feasible for people that need the help to come in and get the help. But those people are like, you know, they flake out, or the stigma, like you mentioned. No one knows if they can go ahead and, you know, talk to me about it. Even though I'm HIPAA compliant, everything goes in an encrypted everything,
Right.
insured up to the boot. It's just people don't know that, and they, I don't know what scares. It's hypnosis too. That probably scares people away too. but it's not like the movies. It's not like Get Out. It's not like all that stuff.
Well,
But
that was the worst thing that happened to you. Oh my goodness.
right,
People say
exactly.
that's so interesting. I didn't think about that. Oh, I don't want to be stuck. Oh, I want somebody
Yeah,
getting in my head like that. That's interesting.
right. And it's not like that. Actually, you have more control when you're in hypnosis. When you see people on stage and things like that, they're actually just because their mind doesn't deem it to be something dangerous. It's just like you'll snap out of it if like this is like a mother if they hear a child dead asleep, if they're asleep or whatnot, they hear a child at 3 o'clock in the morning and then wake up and they'll go do what they got to do. Or if you hear a window break in your house in the middle of the night, you're going to get up and go tend to it. It's just like that with the mind. It's like, oh, no, I'm not going to pay you $1 million, you know, or something. I'm not going to rob a bank. If that's against your moral fiber, it doesn't work. So yeah, it's not the scary stuff we see all in the, Hollywood.
Okay. All right.
Anyway.
Well, then you know what? Let's do this. So obviously you're doing good work here, and we need to get people in there to do it. I asked you in the beginning, if I had like 10 seconds with you to get to know you, tell me about something. Tell me, and there's no time limit, so do what you can.
Okay.
Why is what you're doing something that would help me? Let's just say I'm somebody who's gotten therapy in the past and I don't feel like I got the results. Or I'm somebody who's never gotten therapy and I'm considering this being the first step. So tell me, and I don't want it to seem like you're selling it, but explain it to me. Why, as a layman, I know nothing about this stuff. Why should I do this with you?
Harvey, do you have a mind?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Then it will help you because everybody's got their own mind. I'm going to attend to your mind specifically, with all of my heart, to the best of my knowledge, to the best of what's going to be best for you. But first, we got to connect. We'll connect. Everything you say to me is here. It's right here in this space. I'm holding space for you. Nobody else is going to ever hear about it unless you tell about it, unless you sign papers that say that you want to go ahead and put this portion or this part into the media to let other people know that this is going to help you. So generally, that's how I go about it. This is going to help you because I'm going to help you. We're going to figure this out. I don't know how else to go about it.
That's it. That's fine. I appreciate that. Okay, so how can people find you? Where are you? How can people want to get into this program, maybe find out more about it or reach you specifically? Social media, website, whatever events, anything you have that's popping off. This is it. Talk to us. Yeah.
All right. I don't have any events yet. I'm going to be doing some stage shows too, but just so people can see, things out the dynamic way to do it. Okay. But I'm on www.annexwellness.com. And that's Annex, ANEX, wellness.com. Facebook, YouTube, J McDonald, Hypnosis. I'm going to give you some more links if you have a way to link up on there.
Give me all of them and I'll put them all in episode links. So in episode notes, everybody will access them. I have everybody.
Okay. If you want me to say it, I'll say it.
Yeah, say it. That's good. Yeah, say them out. Get out there.
All right. Contact information. I have the thing up, but it kicked me out of the thing. Okay. So I even have a TikTok here. It's tiny.1/mind matrix. So I'm dressed up like Morpheus and explaining things about your subconscious mind. Like, what if I told you that? Like that. It's pretty cool.
That sounds cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, generally Facebook.
Okay.
J McDonald. Most likely I'll be wearing something like this or not. J McDonald. Let's see, Facebook, Hypnotoad321.
Okay. You on Twitter or anything?
I'm not on Twitter. I tried to start that up, but that's just too many things to be trying to jump into. I don't understand it all that much. Yeah. So the website, www.annexwellness.com. I'm also on LinkedIn. That's tinyurl.com/Andre Hypnosis. And YouTube, J McDonald Hypnosis.
Okay. Excellent.
I'll be there.
All right, cool. Hey,
Message me. You want my phone number in there too?
hey, whatever you want to
Throw
give me.
everything in there.
Just to
All
put out
right.
there for everybody.
It'll be 413. Get
Mhm.
annex.
Get AX. Got you. I like that. Good number. Easy to remember. Get
Yeah.
and then AEX, right? Just
Yep,
like
you
the
got
way.
it. You got it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Dr. Andre, thank you very much. I appreciate
Been
the
a
time you
pleasure.
gave us. I think what this is a good conversation. Hope this will get people to the website, call you, check your socials out, see you on social media, see you on TikTok, see what's going on, and let's
Yes.
get the mind going. Let's make things happen.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Okay, here's what I want.
Okay.
This is season 2. When I did season 1, and I had all these men I was talking to, and we're kind of talking about self-soothing, what we do
Mhm.
to relax ourselves.
Yeah.
What do you do to self-soothe?
I do Qigong. That's a really good one I do. Even just sitting here right now, a good one is just kind of breathe in. You tuck your tailbone in like that. Breathe in. You can do it this way. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And that's gonna work on your whole spine, all the way up to your crown, all the way down to your spine. So what you're doing is you're opening up for your cerebral spinal fluid to just kind of flow a lot easier. Qigong, that's my go-to right there. What do you do?
I've got 4 kids and I stay at home with them. So
Okay.
just like getting away from them at times is what I need.
Anything.
Any, yeah, I read. I'm a music head. I listen to music a lot, so
All
that
right.
works for me. So, but I mean, through doing this podcast, it's kind of a realization I came to that we need
Yes.
something, and a lot of us don't have that thing because to self-soothe really delves into something that I think us men don't know is that we need to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
We are
Yeah.
important. To self-soothe requires thinking about yourself, and we don't
I didn't know
always.
that for a while. Yeah.
We don't. It require. You know what, Harvey? I've got 4 kids who I love. I have a wife who I love. But you know what? Sometimes I gotta deal with me,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
requires. And some, we may consider that selfish or something, and it's not selfish. It's
Mm,
putting our mask on before we help others.
mm.
That's really what that is. I'm a better husband and father when I've got when my mental health
Decompress.
is in
Yeah.
order. So it's an important thing. And I kind of realized that while talking to men last season. So I'm like, what do you do? How do you relax? Do you have something to do to relax? And some are like, no. Well, you need to.
Mhm.
It's important.
Yeah.
When you're good, they're even better because of how good
Yes.
you are. It's so important. We have to keep
Yes.
that in mind. What I was really going to ask you is this. I started a Spotify playlist. Every guest gave me 3 songs that they listened to for relaxation, motivation, whatever. What song, like right now, you hype, it's extra. I don't know what to do, but I need a track to just kind of level me out. What's your track right now? What you listening to?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, hustle mix. I gotta wait for it to load up here. Um, oh, what happened? Kick me out.
Or you could just tell me if you want.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I got the names right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Shoot. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 2. All right, here 2.
Go ahead.
So I got Remember the Name. That's by Fort Minor. They talk
Okay.
about 10%, or was it 20% luck, 15? No. 10. I don't know. Listen to it, you'll love it. All right.
Right.
Just breaks it down.
Okay.
Uh, and then the other one I'd say is Positive Energy Affirmations by uh oh, it doesn't say who it's by. But anyway, so positive energy affirmations. If you type that in, or good things gonna come my way, you're like, good things gonna come my way. Good things
Okay.
gonna
I'll
come my
find
way.
that. Cool.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
appreciate that.
speaking it into existence. So yeah, I don't know. I got some pretty good ones. Man.
That's good. That's good.
I
Hey,
know I'm gonna
that's
look
your.
back through it. I'm just yeah.
It's
That's my
good. Hey,
opinion.
if you find some more, email me, hit me up. I'll add them to the
Oh,
playlist. I
all
appreciate
right,
that.
cool. You got a playlist good on your Spotify. All right.
Yeah. So I had a playlist for season 1, and I had a good, interesting group of guys. So you got
Yeah.
some rock, some R&B, some jazz, some
Hmm.
classical. It's a little
Yeah.
bit of
Love
everything because
jazz
we're
too.
all a
Yeah.
little bit different. So I'm gonna do the same thing with season 2. Um, this was cool. This was amazing. thank you very much. I will
Yes.
hopefully get back to you, and when this is blown up and when you're doing more, if
Mhm.
you ever want to get back on and talk about it again, I'd certainly appreciate it.
So,
Right. So here's what we're gonna end with. You listen to season one, you know me. Season two is different kind of vibe, but I added something to it. The intro and the outro, I found a smooth female voice to introduce the podcast. I
ooh,
was lucky to find what's her Kristen McGriff. She did the last episode of season one was an all episode of just women saying affirmations for men. And I did it for Father's Day. So it was just like, I think it ended up 17 or so women giving 1 minute messages to men, just let them know how much they're appreciated, how much they're loved. Because I
yeah,
thought it was something we don't get that much.
nurture, yeah,
So, so I thought that's a good thing to hear. And one of them was done. Two of them were actually done by Kristen McGriff. And I'm like, I love her voice. So the
yeah.
intro that you heard, that's Kristen. The outro that you're going to hear is Kristen. She has her own podcast. It's called the Candid Shop Podcast. Very
Oh,
cool. And she's so cool doing this intro and outro for me. So as you
yeah.
end it, as enjoyable as this podcast is, when it's done, listen to that smooth voice. She's cool as hell. I like her a lot.
Sounds
And
good.
with that, thank you very much for listening and watching the Men of the Prize podcast, where your inner monologue is revealed. Have a good week and never, ever, ever forget you are the man and you're the prize. I'll see you next week.